No, I'm just kidding. What's going on, guys? This is Matt Ford with Rocker Films. Today I'm doing a review on my 2012 Volvo S60 T6 all-wheel drive. It has a 3-liter straight six twin scroll turbocharged, not a twin turbo, but a twin scroll turbo. 300 horsepower, 325 pound-feet of torque. I have a little racing sticker on the side because it's my race car. Sweet Squad because I'm in the car group based out of Atlanta. And only thing I have done to it right now is the muffler delete. And that's about it. I just plasticed up the wheels because the previous owner had curbed the wheels on both sides actually. So I had to try to paint them over. But other than that, it's pretty much stock. To be honest, I love this car. So let's hop inside. I guess I can give you guys a little tour inside of the car. It is very dirty right now, so don't mind that. I have like clothes and stuff to cover over my camera. It holds 5 people. I only recommend holding 4 people in here, like 2 back seats and stuff. I don't recommend having 5 people in here. It's not that big of a car. If you want that kind of space, you need to get an S80 or S90 now. Trunk space. I have my tripod in here, which is kind of big, but it fits the whole thing in there with plenty more space, obviously. I'm pretty sure I can fit like 3 dead bodies in there. Honestly, in the back, you only have window control and it goes down this much. Only has this much hanging up, and that's fine with me, honestly. It has a lock button. There's no locks in the door, but you pull it and it unlocks the door. You'll pull it twice. It's a Volvo, so Volvos usually do that. I've hopped in the front passenger seat. Like I said, my car's very dirty, but it holds me really well. I would sit here. I let my dad drive me sometimes, and I can sit here and I can sit in the back perfectly fine. I'm 5'9", so that should give you some perspective. Glove box is fairly deep. You probably can't see that, but it's fairly deep. And yeah, there's not much really to talk about in this car with feature-wise because it's a 2012. It has heated seats in the front only, dual climate control, so you can control the temperature on the passenger side and the driver's side. Auto climate control, so you can control the air condition or the heat, and the car would actually manage that for you. AC, defrosters, basic. We have telephone for your like Bluetooth phones. It's not like built into the car or anything, but it's for Bluetooth, and you can pretty much type in the phone number and call anybody you want. So we have that. We have radio, has satellite XM as well. Media control, we have disc, USB, iPod, Bluetooth, and the auxiliary, which is your aux cord that you plug in there. And also a feature that I didn't know about until like I read some forums on the car. It has a DVD player built in. However, it does not work while you're driving, which there's a way around that, but it's not really cheap. So if you want to do that, you can go ahead. But pretty much it plays movies in here. This is a DVD, I believe, and it plays at like, I'm gonna say at 480 or 720p. Not high. It's not high definition, but you know, the car is keyless start and stop. This is just the key holder. If your battery dies, you can turn it on still. But it's keyless and remote start. This key is the remote start key, but it doesn't do it for some reason. I guess they deactivated it before I bought the car. Not sure, but it's still a cool feature to have. How about go back to the driver's seat? It has a little cubby hole. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a little cubby behind the radio itself. We call this the waterfall because it comes down like a waterfall, and there's space behind it. Every newer Volvo has this now. It's a cool little feature. I love having it because I blow people's minds when they see this in my car. So, close my door. On this side, we have the trunk release, gas tank opener, the rear fog lights, and it has the 3 selections for your lights for daytime and if you want to turn it off. We have the parking brake right here, and it moves on your foot when you push it in and push it out. The dimmer for your inside lights when it's nighttime. I don't ever use it, I just leave it as is. Have a sunroof that opens all the way up. My favorite part is this little wind breaker right here that breaks the wind so you don't have to hear it inside the car. It's really awesome, but pretty nice. I'm gonna close it for sound's sake. Hopefully you guys can hear me fine. And that's pretty much it on the features that you can see in the car. Now moving towards the radio, we have DSCT, or I said that backwards. We have DSTC, city safety, and active bending lights. So starting with the active bending lights, that's pretty much how it sounds. The lights turn when you turn the wheel. So like when you're going around a corner, the lights actually bend actively while you're turning, so you can see what's coming around the corner, if that makes sense. City safety, it pretty much stops the car or lowers the speed of the car before a collision happens. So the car is actually reading up here, if you can see that up here, that just like cars in front of you and is always paying attention. It will stop your car before you actually hit somebody. You can turn that off, obviously. Turn the active bending lights off also. DSTC, that's my favorite thing. It is pretty much a sport button. If you look down here, you'll see it says DSTC Sport. That pretty much turns off traction control, and it allows the car to push the power to the back wheels when you're like, say, skidding or drifting or whatever you want to do. I've used it multiple times in the rain. It's really fun and I really enjoy it. I wouldn't trade it for a thing. This car currently has 127,000 miles on it. I drive it a lot. I've got the car at 82,000 miles 2 years ago, I believe, or last year. Last year I bought the car. About 83,000 miles, and I'm at 127,000 miles right now. So that should show you how much I drive this car and how much I actually love this car. And it's pretty amazing. So with that being said, I'm gonna put my handy dandy seatbelt on. And like I said, guys, I'm sorry my car's dirty. I try to clean it, but then it gets dirty again. Pollen is falling off the trees. And yeah, this is the worst time to do a video for this car, but this car is reliable. I, however, have the worst luck with Volvos. Let me close my window so I can explain this. This is my third Volvo. I've had 2 S40s before this car, and with each one, you're moving. With each one, I've had alternator issues. And I'm gonna tell you, that is the worst, and it scares you, or it scares me, because I don't know when it's gonna happen. Like, I don't know when to expect it to happen. So that to me is scary. But I'm honestly the only person that's had this issue with this car, like with these cars. I've talked to numerous other people that own Volvos, and they've never had issues with the alternator. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong that causes this issue. Okay, you're driving on the wrong side of the road, but okay. Don't know what I've been doing wrong with these cars to cause that issue, but it is how it is, I guess. But I think I found the issue with this car, which was I changed my oil myself. I bought the drain plug gaskets for this car, and they deteriorate when it's like time to change the oil. And okay, that was weird. The drain plug gaskets deteriorate when it's like time to change the oil, I guess, which is a bad design because the oil splashes out and it gets over everything. And when I changed the oil 2 times ago, actually both times, they were dripping oil, and it was oil all under the bottom of my car. So I wouldn't recommend going to AutoZone for those drain plugs. Go order online or whatever you have to do not to get these drain plugs. With that being said, these cars are reliable, and other than the alternator, that's the only issue I had with this car. Alternator and the bulb blowing, the headlight bulb blowing out, and those weren't cheap because we have the xenon lights. I changed the alternator myself. You can see a video of that on my channel also, because nobody else had one up, so I decided to make one for myself because I wasn't paying $900, $1,000 to get an alternator changed, and it honestly wasn't that difficult to change it out. So with that being said, car's reliable. I love this car. The only thing I don't love about this car is performance-wise, and like I said, it's nothing that other Volvo drivers have to worry about, because your average Volvo driver wouldn't be doing what I do with this car. Saying that, my only gripe with this car is the limiter. The car has a limiter at 131 miles per hour. And some might say, oh, you don't need to be going that fast, but let's say I take the car to a track, to a racetrack, even a drag strip, going for a mile. This car would not go faster than anybody else. I don't want to be stuck doing 131 while everybody is doing 150, 160. Like, say for instance, a BMW 335 or a 535, which I would say a competitor for this car is the 535. You can't beat those cars around the track with this because of that speed. And this car gets to that speed rather quickly. So that's my only gripe with this car. But other than that, I love this car. There's things I can do to this car to make it more fun, and I'm working on that right now. I have H&R springs to put on the car. I want to get it a catback exhaust done to make it louder than it already is. And I would like to put some sway bars in. The car will handle better. It handles okay right now, but the car gives you low driver confidence when going around corners, because you have to push the car. You have to push your own feelings first to get this car around a corner, because you feel like it's not going to get around the corner because it's understeering. But then you get through that feeling and then push it more, and the car just goes around the corner like a dream. But I need more of that driver confidence. That's what gives the car, that's what gives the driver the best skill while driving, pretty much, if that makes sense. So this car, it has 300 horsepower, and then it has 325 pound-feet of torque if you opt for the version I have right now. If you get the R design, it has 325 horsepower and 350, I think, pound-feet of torque, if I'm not mistaken. And then they have the Polestar, which is like 345 horsepower or 360 horsepower, one of the two, and way more torque. These cars make more torque because it's transverse, so it's not like a straight 6 that goes up and down the motor like vertically. It goes horizontally. Before I forget, the car has 3 modes for drive. It has basic drive, sport, which tunes the car for sharper, way sharper throttle response, and then it has manual. Sport, I'm always in sport mode. I'm not gonna lie about that. I'm always in sport mode, because that feeling of the torque in the beginning when you take off from a light. When you take off from a light, it's whew. There's no words for it, honestly. I've read reviews about it, and people compare it to a GTR. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna do a little poll for you guys, but let me open up my Waze so you guys, I'll make sure I don't pass any cops while doing this. Okay. That was sport mode. There is a way to launch the car, but you're not supposed to do it because it hurts the transmission. So I'm not going to talk about that. But the best way to launch this car is by brake torquing, turning off the DSTC, and just going for it. And it gets you every time. Like, the tire will spin a little bit depending on which surface you're on. This car is front wheel drive biased, and that being said, the front wheels will spin rather than the rear wheels first. And then once it catches the slippage, it will go to the rear wheels. And that's the fun thing about all-wheel drive cars. Right now I just have the muffler completely gone, so it's just dumping out the back, and it drones a little bit while I'm down the highway. But there's ways around that. I can just push in the throttle a little bit and it will shut the noise off completely. But the drone isn't terribly excruciating or anything, so it's livable. Now, if I cut the resonator out and just leave it like that, then yes, that would be horrible. But it sounds good right now. Honestly, I've been driving this for like 6 months now. There's no complaints. All right, I'm gonna bust a U-turn right here because I don't know what's that way. Like I said, nobody really knows about these cars, so I consider this car an underrated sleeper. Like, I went to a car show over the weekend and people were standing at the corner, but then like I was the last car, so they started walking away. And like I said, I have a muffler delete in this car. It's a straight 6 turbo, and I revved it. And somebody screamed, "Oh, okay!" They weren't expecting it, so it was kind of funny to like hear that and see what their reaction was, because my car looks stock right now. We call this the Dadmobile. So this video might be a little bit disorganized. I'm not going too hard on myself because this is my first review. So with this one being said, I can make a list of things that I want to ask or talk about in the car, and yeah, make a better video for the next one. Don't know what car I'm going to review next. I'm going to try to go to some dealerships to see if they let me review their cars, and from there hopefully we have a little series going on. I want to thank you guys so much because I've been working on this so long. So much blood, sweat, and tears have been into this channel, and I just want to thank everybody that has stuck with me this far and that has enjoyed my content, has always been commenting on my content, and just thank you guys. Like, I appreciate you guys so much. Go back here now. I'm about to do some reps for you guys. Ooh, not like that. I'm gonna put it back here. Like I said, it's transverse, so it's horizontal instead of straight up and down like vertical. And this is just the cover. This comes off easy. Just pull it off. The auxiliary belt right here, I was told this has a timing chain, so no belts change other than the auxiliary belt. The alternator is hooked on with a coupler, so it just slides right in. Like I said, it's easy to change. Air filter, battery, fuses, coolant, power steering. Everything is reasonably easy to like reach, so it's not a hard car to work on. People are scared to work on these cars because they're Volvos and they're European, but European cars are not that hard to work on. So with that being said, this thing is hot. It's hot outside. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Please help us get to 1,000 subscribers. We're so close. Hopefully by the time I post this video, we'll be at 1,000. But with you guys' support and following for this channel, and so with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.